Thank you, Chairman. Yes, this is the management plan that has been written by Caroline Peach and her team in urban design, and I thank you. That is a very comprehensive report. As members will know, the council are investing a lot of time and money in trying to improve the situation in Boscombe, and trying to bring the area up, as it were. And in 2013, as part of that, we adopted the conservation area appraisal for Churchill Gardens, and that report was well received. Now, it's no good having a conservation area appraisal report unless you've got sort of a management plan to follow through on what that says. So this particular paper here that we're talking about is the management plan to bring forward the recommendations and the advice given in the original appraisal. So we've got, as part of the appendix in the report, you will see a very detailed, comprehensive outline of how we can move forward with the various ideas and options which is in the original conservation appraisal. And then now that's been written, I'd like the authorisation of this committee to support going out to consultation. Now, as you can see from the minutes of the Local Development Framework Steering Group, I'll just briefly read this because I think it sums up basically what I'm trying to say, is the purpose of the management plan, which is what I've got to say, was to set out in more detail how the area will be preserved, managed and enhanced in the future. Both the appraisal and the management plan had been prepared in support of the work of the Boscombe Regeneration Partnership, and both documents demonstrated a holistic and partnership working approach to the area, with conservation and heritage as a key component. Now, Churchill Gardens is a beautiful part of Old Bournemouth, Chairman, some fantastic properties around there, and they do need upgrading, maintenance and so on and so forth. You've also got the gardens in the centre of the square, which are very attractive gardens, and there's lots of ideas and thoughts on the whole area on how that can be brought forward within this management plan. So having said that, Chairman, I'd like to move the recommendation on page 2 of the report that we agree to publish the management plan for public consultation, and that I have authority with the Service Director for Planning and Transport Regulation to make any minor changes to the document prior to publication. So I so move, Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. I believe Councillor Kelly, you wish to second it. Would you like to speak now?
Yes, please. Thank you. Yes, I think this the report we have here is absolutely fantastic. It really sets out the way that the Churchill Gardens area, both the gardens themselves and the surrounding streets, need to be looked after, enhanced, and brought back to a bit of refurbishment, brought back to how they were in the past, if possible. And in this way, we've got direction, we've got an anchor that we can use to inform the way that any type of building work needs to be done. So I very much welcome this, and very happy to second. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. I'll now move to members of the Council who are not on the Cabinet, starting with the Chair of the Local Government Framework Steering Committee, Councillor Chapman.
Thank you, Chairman. On the day before the meeting, I walked the site of Churchill Gardens to see what we were actually discussing. And I feel that if that were in London, it would be regarded as a gem, and we would be fighting to buy the properties. Particularly noticeable around there are the properties which the council has built up, renovated and sold on. They're a credit to the council, with the lovely ironwork on the balcony levels on the first floor. I just hope that some of the other property owners in the area, including the multiple landlords, will perhaps take note of those properties so that we can see a faster redevelopment of the area. I have to say that when I arrived at Churchill Gardens, one is overwhelmed by the number of Bournemouth Council wheelie bins. There's something like 6 or more bins outside each property, and it certainly overwhelms the area. So we did at the steering group meeting consider that this was also picked up by our consultants who prepared the report, and we've considered that if we could at some stage introduce larger communal bins, it would make a fantastic difference to the whole area, but it is just overwhelmed by black wheelies at the moment. That's all, Chairman. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that, Councillor Chapman. Just to pick up on one point, of course, whilst we have been engaged in purchasing and refurbishing properties in Churchill Gardens, we haven't sold any on, nor do we intend to. We're taking them into housing stock outside of the housing revenue account and letting them to those on the waiting list. In terms of the issue of bins, I think I'll ask my colleague, Councillor Michael Fowler, to take that up with officers outside of this meeting to see what can be done to satisfy what was discussed at the local development steering group. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Are there any other questions from members not on the Cabinet? Councillor Queen.
Can I just say, I think it's an absolutely excellent management plan, and we discussed it in some detail at the meeting on Friday. I think it's a fantastic plan, and I thoroughly recommend it. My question is more about are there considerations for doing such a plan for other conservation areas in the town, and if so, how might that be taken forward? Because I think this is an excellent way in which the conservation areas can be managed, and I just wonder whether there are any plans for any further such plans for other conservation areas.
I'll pass to the portfolio holder in just a moment, but we identified 3 conservation area reappraisals that were required, following through with management plans. It is very much subject to resources, of course, and we prioritised those that we felt were the most urgent. I don't know whether you've got anything to add to that, Councillor Smith.
Well, yes, you're right, Chairman. I think perhaps just by way of an update, maybe we could ask Caroline Peach, who is the senior officer leading on this, just to give us an update on where we are with various management plans, Chairman.
Sir? Certainly. If you'd like to just give us a very brief update, that would be helpful.
Thank you, Chairman. I would say actually yes, we're prioritising where we can, subject to resources, as you say. We'll be looking at Talbot Village is an area we'll be looking at, and Holdenhurst Village is another one, just out in the Greenbelt to north east of Bournemouth. Those are ones that we've done fairly recent management plans or new emerging appraisals, following up then with management plans. So those are the 3 that we have that we're referencing.
Thank you very much. Are there any other comments or questions from members of the Cabinet? In that case, we'll go... Sorry, Councillor Kelly?
Sorry, I just wanted to highlight again, I think as you've already mentioned, the importance of that area to the Boston regeneration effort, and the fact that we've been buying some of the HMOs and converting them, and they really stand out as exemplars of really good design and work. And also to do with the communal bin scheme, we've looked at that in that area before, and I think we will be looking at it again. There were some really interesting ideas put forward by this management plan that we, in the future could look into.
Thank you very much. In that case, we'll go to the vote. We have a move and recommendation to be seconded. All those in favour, please indicate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, unanimous.